Now the other project for the day is we're going to get rid of this power cab setup here. Gonna swap out this panel for a normal one, and then we're gonna put my command station and booster up here, I think. And then connect the booster to the shelf, and then the program track to the program leads. Because whenever we get the layout on the benchwork up here done, we're going to use the Digitrax one, and I don't have a layout down here anymore, so all this NCE stuff is doing nothing. Literally nothing. So, gotta take that 5 amp booster. That's a booster and command station. I don't need a whole separate booster, because that already has a booster in it, I think. I forgot about that. That's right, I got 20 amps down here. Good lord. Alright, so power. This is what we're working with. It's a 6 amp, 24 volt power supply. This is what we're going to use for this. And so it has these wire terminals here, so I need to figure out where this is going first, and then I need to make my length of wire to go from this to that. Alright, so we're basically going from up here down to here. This is gonna go right about, to that part of the shelf layout. So we're just gonna strip our ends and then get that connected. Alright, so what we have here is I have that, I don't care if it looks a little messy, right? Okay, so we got it looped up around that bracket, got it coming down there to here where our connection is. Now, as far as the whatchamacallit goes, power, turning it on and off. There we go. Whatchamacallit. Anyway, have our on-off switch here. Honestly, I'm just gonna double-sided sticky foam it, like right there. I have not had an issue doing this type of thing before, and so I'm just gonna do it again because I'm lazy and don't feel like trying to figure out how to mount that properly. So I'm gonna do that. I split this here so that I can keep the black wire intact and cut the red wire where I need to. And we're also going to go ahead and crimp these onto the ends of the black wire. Or sorry, the red wire. Yeah, so go do that now. Alright, so the power supply is 6 amps. The power and program track and stuff over here, the command station side only needs about 1-ish. And then the track side needs 5. So I have a 6 amp power supply on here. It's been fine for as long as I've used it, so it should be enough, theoretically. We have things hooked up here. This is what it looks like from the other side, if it'll focus. There we go. So, let's see if this works. Alright, looks like it's on. Now we just hook up everything else. So next we have this NCE EB1. This is going to go between the shelf layout and the command station. And again, I'm just using double-sided sticky tape. Your DCC goes in one end, and then your track goes through the other end. There's dip switches on here to adjust when the cutoff is. I've set it to 4 amps. That way there's plenty of room. If there's a 4.5 amp option, I might do that, but I gotta clean this off. But for now, 4 amps. Alright, so this is the program track, right? Okay. I've modified it for N scale as well. We can see here that there's the N scale track. It is nailed down. There's stoppers on each end. Got the wires in there. Yes, this does work, but I should revisit it at some point. These wires are not long enough, obviously, so we are going to take those out, put these ones in, and then yeah. Okay, so we got that connected. Now I need to hook up this loco net cable to the back of this panel somehow. Not entirely sure how I'm going to do that just yet, but I am going to try to figure that out. I also got to see if I should redo this cable or not, because when it falls in there, it's like right up against the end scale, so we'll see. Alright, this actually has me pretty excited because I haven't used my, any of my other, I can go back to how it was, any of my other NCE cabs in quite a long time, actually. So we got this longer straight cable here, for two reasons. Number one, so that I don't stretch out my coiled cables, and number two, when I put it away, we can see here it fits just in the space between here, which is awesome. So that being said, we have program track here, we have our panel here, have our connections. Theoretically, once we flip that switch, it should work. Now the shelf does have stuff on it. There was stuff on it before. There was now more stuff because I threw stuff that was on this side of the shelf onto here, but you know, I digress. Let's go ahead, flip this switch, see what happens. I also went ahead and put this AM7 here on the program track to see what happens when I go to program something. So, 3, 2, 1. I forgot about the cable for the booster. Alright, hold on. On these older models, they actually have the booster and command stations separated from each other. That way if one goes bad, you can still power up and use the other one. And so there's a cable that links the two together. Alright, let's try this again. 3, 2, 1. We have an engine. We have a cab that's very bright and blows out the camera. Okay. I'm gonna swap out this cab actually. Alrighty. We have the system 1 here. Let's see here. Select loco. This is 1071. Alright, so that does work. Now, just out of curiosity, because I have no idea if it'll let you run on the program track. I don't think so, but I want to try it. Select loco. 4936. Okay. No. Okay, I didn't think so. Now, let's go ahead and program mode, use program track. So that should turn off the main layout. We can see that it has a lost connection to the booster. Okay, and now, theoretically this should be working if I press 1. I've never actually tested this, the programming function. Ooh, okay. I hear the motor chirping. Will it find it? It did find the long address. Okay, so it is reading and writing. Well, it can write, but it is reading, which is awesome. That means that this whole thing is working. So yeah. Now, let's go ahead and set up JMRI on this thing. Actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and test out the circuit breaker. Okay. It did cut out, the throttle stayed on. And now it's back. Alrighty. What does that do when it gets thrown. It just turns off. And then it goes on a timer and it'll come back. All while the booster, command station, and cab bus all stays up. Alright, now it's JMRI time. So in order to connect this to JMRI, for this type of command station, you need a 9-pin to USB cable. This is a sappered one, it works fine. I just gotta figure out how I want to wire it, because there isn't really a spot to like get the wires under the shelves from here, but we'll see what I can come up with here. I might have to use a USB extension, we'll see. Alright, so now we're going to turn that on. Okay. What is it, 8 to mute? Yes, it is 8 to mute. Alright. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do in order to set up JMRI is go to your COM ports, expand that, and then see and what is connected here. So it looks like we have USB serial device COM3 and then USB serial port COM6. So what we are going to do is we are going to try these in JMRI and see what shows up. Now for me, JMRI has given me this warning saying that the preferences has changed, which does make sense because I do not have the setup that I used to have. So what we are going to do here is we are going to edit preferences. Okay. And it's a really tall window. Let's bring that down. We are going to serial NCE COM3. Let's try COM3. Connection prefix, I'm just going to go with H for HO. And then connection name NCE, that's fine. Is there anything I need to change in here? No, I do not think so. Okay. So now I'm going to press save, restart. Okay. And it looks like no. Okay. All right. See how that changed from red to from green to red down here? That means that most likely we have entered in the wrong one. So we are going to go here and change that to COM6 and then try this again. Okay, right now they are green. See if they will stay green. It looks like they have, so now we are going to press new loco. Gonna bring that over, and this should be reading from the program track. On program track, yes. Okay, so I have my E33 with a LogPilot 5 decoder in there. Let's see if it can read it. I hear the motor chirping, which typically means, here we go. As we have the SD70 on the main layout chime back in. Just gonna remove that. Okay. And then LogPilot 5, and it showed up with the address. So that is in fact working. Now, what we can do as well is it in actions or NCE actions? New throttle. Okay. So now to test out the functionality of the layout, I just put the SD70 back on. We will type in 1071, press enter. Alrighty, everything appears to be working in JMRI, which is awesome. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Somewhere in here, settings, edit, preferences. Somewhere in here, it allows you to Y-throttle. That port is fine because I'm not opening it up to start automatically with application. Press save. Let's go ahead and restart, and we will might as well test this in this video as well. Allow. Okay. Yes, it's over here in the corner of this window. Alright. So, this is now up, which should give us Wi-Fi capabilities. So as long as your device is connected over the Wi-Fi, you should be able to open up your engine driver app or Y-throttle or whatever you got, and run it from there. So I'm actually going to go ahead and test this in this video. So let's cut over to that. Alright, so in JMRI, the window will show up and it will tell you what to connect to, which in this case is the IP address of the computer on your local network, and then the port that is open on your local network. You punch that in to the address and port, and then it will show up here. Now we can go ahead and press select. Okay, address. 1071. You can then press acquire. Alright. It seems I have a some dirty track there. Yep. Alright, there we go. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys.